here at StellarCon 2021. I'm here with comics writer Justin Jordan.
Hello.
Writer of Luthor, Strode, Spread. You wrote for Valiant, for Shadow Man. How many books do you have actually under your own name of your own creation at this point? How many? It's like 12?
17.
17 books.
Well, no, 17 series. The actual books is more like 25 because some of them have gone to multiple trades.
Gotcha. Yeah. And what are you currently working on at this time?
So right now I am still working on Urban Animal, which is at Line Webtoons. I was working on Summoner's War for Skybound. And then a bunch of stuff that I can't actually talk about because it's not announced, but I'm doing a few things. I also do the comics that are in the Call of Duty mobile game, so there's that. Nice. Which is just funny because like those are actually literally read by like 4 million people whenever they come out, which is like a factor of magnitude bigger than comics usually are. So.
Very true. Yeah. One thing I wanted to talk about was that Luthor Shrub was your first book, and it recently got optioned for film. How far along in development is that at this point?
It's still pretty early days. We've got a script that I think is just about locked, and we've been talking to a director about it. He is actually busy on a project right now, so probably in a couple of weeks we'll start taking it out and trying to get funding and all that kind of stuff. So it's still early days, but it's less early days than a lot of stuff is.
Gotcha,
so,
yeah. It's a miracle if anything gets made in the studio system.
It really is, yeah. It's interesting because I got a bunch of stuff that's kind of going. Like I did a pilot for a streaming company, and one of my other projects is actually going out as an animated thing to things literally this week. It'll go out Monday. And so, but like, yeah, it's like all one of those. They're like, yeah, it'd be awesome if it happens, but it's also like a moonshot kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I am amazed anything ever happens.
Yeah, it's a lot of gridlock is what it seems like.
Yeah, it's all real slow until it isn't.
Yeah.
Like, it's always like one of those, like, I don't know if anything's going to happen. I don't know if anything's going to happen. Oh, here's a whole bunch of money. We need to do it now. Like, okay.
Here's $70 million. Come back with a movie in 6 months.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. How do you feel about the superhero film craze that's going on right now? Do you think that it's slowing down? Do you think that it's plateaued? How do you feel about it at this point?
I would venture to say that it has plateaued, but what I think is going to happen, and this relates to Strode, so I have some motivated thinking here, is that I think we are getting to the stage where we are getting sort of the second generation of superhero stuff, the movies and projects that are starting to comment on the tropes of superheroes that are established, right? So like
Deadpool and such.
Yeah, Deadpool or The Boys on Amazon Prime or Invincible. You know what I mean? It's that second generation, like kind of commenting on the first generation of stuff. So like I think like the MCU, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, is just going to be the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and it'll probably they know what their formula is. But I think we're going to get more stuff that is kind of commentary on that, which is what Luthor Strode was as a comic. So I am hoping that the time is ripe for that.
Yeah. Seth and I were just talking about the Moon Knight series that's in development for Marvel right now, and he said that he feels spoiled that the Daredevil series on Netflix spoiled him because you could see how dark and violent it could really get. The Moon Knight series probably will not be that.
You know, it is hard to say. Like, it probably won't because that's not normally the MCU formula. But, like, on the other hand, Justin Benson and Aaron Moorhead are really good. So, like, their worst movie is still a pretty good movie. So,
it's true.
Yeah.
It's very true. Yeah. As far as your involvement in the film, you wrote the script. Will you be involved in the process when it begins filming? Will you be doctoring the script at all to change things at all?
Probably. I mean, you know, it's one of those things that, like, it depends on the nature of the deal we get with whoever's making it. Because, you know, it's entirely possible that they may want a more experienced screenwriter. I'm attached as a producer, too, like a for-real producer, not just a here's
executive
your name
producer, code name for I got a paycheck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was actually, it's funny, I was explaining that to some friends of mine. It was basically like, I'm doing one project, and like, because I am, if it goes to series, I am the co-creator of it and also an actual EP.
Yeah.
An executive producer, and not a name only. And so like, the money involved is just ludicrous. Like, but like, there's another thing where like I am a co-EP on it, which is just a different kind of thing. And co-EP is usually just means we were contractually obligated to give you this credit, and we give you some money.
Okay.
But like, it's just a different amount of money. Like, it's. I'm trying to think. So 8 episodes. It's 4 times as much at a minimum to be the actual EP as to be a co-EP, basically.
Jesus.
At least within the structure of those deals. Granted, the co-EP money is still good, and I'm not complaining. It's just money to, exist, basically.
Yeah.
The EP money, I actually have to work, so it's that. But, like, you look at the Hollywood money, especially compared to comics, and you're like, just, Jesus Christ.
It's just mountains and mountains and mountains
It really
of cash.
is.
Yeah. There was an article that came out recently, I think Ed Brubaker commented on it, about the transparency of the comics industry and how people that create new characters for major companies like Marvel or DC, they don't receive the kind of royalties that they should receive.
That is absolutely true.
Because Brubaker really got screwed out of the Winter Soldier royalties. He got paid more for royalties from the film, The Winter Soldier, than he did from the actual comic, which was basically, technically it is Marvel's character, Bucky Barnes, but...
No, to be clear, he got paid more for his cameo as an actor.
Oh, yeah.
In Winter Soldier.
Oh, that's right.
Than he got paid for being the creator, or the guy who
character.
developed Winter Soldier. Yeah.
That's true, but that just shows, like, that there's this kind of, like, the respect that should be there for a lot of comics people at the big two. I mean, yes, it's still work for them, but at the same time, there should be more, like, you hear stories about, like, Bill Finger and such. And
There absolutely should be. And, like, once you start getting into Hollywood and see the money that's involved in everything, like straight up, like, I don't know about Ed, but, like, literally, if you're a comics creator and you create a character in one of those movies, you probably make less than the people doing craft services for the movie. Like, and once you get to see how much money there is, it's ridiculous that they pay that little. It's not like they couldn't pay you more, they just don't.
Yeah. I mean, I've been on plenty of film sets. I mean, I worked on Wonder Woman 2 for, like, 4 days, made close to, like, $3,000.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
It's things like that. It's like, I was just a grip.
It's like I wrote a pilot, and I was like, for the amount that you paid me for this pilot, like, we could have done like 15 issues of the comic, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's just a different scale of things. So yeah, that whole thing is like, and when you do a lot of creator and stuff like I do, like, so I have varying degrees of like stuff I own and stuff. Like, so the stuff I've done through Image, it's me and my co-creators. So, like, if that gets developed or optioned, like, it's pretty much it's just us profiting.
Yeah.
And then there's, like, the other companies that you split it with, and then there's, like, the work-for-hire stuff you do at, like, Marvel and DC or whatever. And that stuff I just don't ever anticipate seeing money from. Like, that's it's not fair, but, like, you go into it knowing, like, the paycheck's the paycheck, or how it goes.
Yeah.
So
it's a machine that rolls on and on.
Yeah.
Well, that's all I've got. Thanks, Justin.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man.
Of course.
Good to see you, Jesse.
Appreciate it.